buddies, and happy Halloween to you guys who celebrate it. Hope you have a fun and safe day, night, whatever. For us, we're just going to hang at home, have a little tiny, party with some games, movie night, snacks, nothing crazy, just hanging out at home. So let's go ahead and jump right into the question of the day, which before I recorded, I thought of my question and I thought of my answer, so I'm more on the ball today. Because it's Halloween, leave a spooky book recommendation. Mine, I haven't read it in a few years, but Coraline really creeped me out. So drop yours in the comments and I would love to hear from you. Let's jump right into the topic for the day, and that is the reading challenge for October. The first one, read a book with a book on the cover or in the title. And for that, I chose to finally get back to reading The Book of Secrets by M.L. Little, and I barely finished it. I finished it the 29th, I want to say. So I was like, man, I gotta get this done for the challenge. We don't want to have another book that we don't finish for the challenge like 3 months in a row. Yeah. So this was a really fun read. Okay, so I read it back in 2019, and I enjoyed it then. I gave it a 4-star rating. I'm keeping my 4 stars because I still really liked it. It was good. But what made this read around even better is that I read it in a shorter time frame. Before I read it, and then I dropped it for a few months, and then I had to restart because I'd forgotten so much. This time I read it in couple weeks, so I was much more involved, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word or not. I could keep up better. I wasn't as confused, wait, what's going on? There were a few times that transition between settings wasn't clear, it would jump from here to there and I'd be like, wait a minute, I don't understand. But I am so glad I finally got to start this again. I needed a reread because I enjoyed it so much more this time around. I love the cover. It's so beautiful, and it captures some of that magic element stuff. There's magic in it if you don't like magic. There's seers, there's witches. Not a hocus pocus kind of thing, but there are witches, but it's kind of more minor. The writing was very whimsy and just creative. I definitely really enjoyed the writing, and it really had a fantasy feel to it, but it was also very modern. Even the synopsis says that it goes beyond the typical medieval swords and sorcery, which it really does, because there's modern touches. There's airplanes and there's trains. I want to say there's telephones and stuff. Yeah, there's telephones. I remember that now. The characters were amazing. I love the siblings interactions. They were funny. My favorite character is Hollis, and he's just this spunky little kid who's super courageous and brave and always ready just to pull his knife out and kill somebody, to defend his family and stuff. It's just cute, and I think all the characters were very well written. Even the minor ones, they're definitely unforgettable, that's for sure. So yeah, they were really fun. Plot-wise, very engaging, interesting, and it's just this quest to kind of save the world, sort of, so that's always fun, and very fast-paced. There's a bit of time travel between realms, which definitely appealed to me. I love time travel. Really good themes and messages about family, and there's also things about not being so afraid about the here and now that it keeps you from doing what needs to be done, I guess. There is supposed to be a character, Brim, I assume that's how you pronounce it, B-R-I-M, and he's supposed to represent God. And there were a lot of quotes he used that were really good and were on point. Not quite sure how that's working in with the magic elements. I can kind of see it, but I forgot to put this in my actual written review, but still kind of unsure about how I feel about that. No romance, which is awesome. And as far as content warnings, like I said, there's magic, violence, action, sword fights. There's some character death, injuries, stuff like that. There's no language, which I love. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I've already started the sequel, and I'm excited just to plow through these and read them kind of more straight through. Now, I've only read this one before. I haven't read any of the other ones at all, so they're all new to me, so I'm very excited. And I recommend this for readers of fantasy, adventure, characters that go on quests involuntarily. If you don't like magic, though, you probably won't enjoy this, so I'm gonna come right out and say that. But if you don't mind a bit of magic, you'll enjoy this. And the next one I did for October was a suspense novel. And for that, I chose The Looky Loo. That was actually my second choice because I wanted to read The Last Word. However, today is actually October 30th. and I still don't have the book. It's not available for me at the library, and I wasn't about to buy my own e-copy or anything. Why do that when it's at the library for free, you know? I'm kind of cheap like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to read that whenever it comes up, probably November. Anyway, I'm glad I had a backup for this because it needed to happen. Overall, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I've had it on my Kindle library forever. I just never, I would think about reading it, but then like, it just, as soon as that thought is here, it's gone. But this finally gave me the like, okay, let's actually read it. So the cover, it's very spooky, great for Halloween. It's actually kind of creepy, and in case you're wondering, it is about a werewolf, or a legend of a neighborhood werewolf. Writing wise, I don't like to point out typos because I have made my own share of embarrassing typos and it's been really bad. But there was quite a lot that did pull me out of the story. Actually, I enjoyed the descriptions. It was very suspenseful, scary, and the descriptions of the werewolf and like creeping around and like peeking in window, it was really creepy. Like the author nailed it on the creepy aspects. It really had a To Kill a Mockingbird kind of style with the writing and the narrative, which I didn't really like that book 100%, so I didn't really like this book in that way. Some of the sayings were like, it kind of made them sound kind of dumb. I didn't care for it, but that's just personal preference. I think my favorite character was actually the Looky-Loo. I don't want to go into all that for spoilers. As you read the book, it goes a bit deeper and you find that there's layers. If this was made into a series and there was a prequel that went into the whole family and the curse and like all of that, I would totally read it just for a backstory because it was really interesting and it left me with more questions than answers, honestly. I mentioned this in my Goodreads review and it's a spoiler, I don't want to get into all this, but there's one thing that just drove me up a wall, and it's just the ending basically. I mean, if you want to see the spoiler, go to my Goodreads thing and read it, but I don't want to spoil it on here. Themes and messages, kids do stupid things, really, and it was annoying because a lot of things could have been avoided if, you know, no romance, which I love that, and content warnings. It's just scary images, no language that I don't think there was any language, just some scary suspense. So like I said, 3 stars. The suspense was amazing and it really delivered. Some rough patches, like I mentioned, the grammar detracted from the story. I didn't care for the characters or the kind of the narrative style, sort of. I'm really glad I chose this for the October challenge. It was perfect. And I do recommend this if you enjoy neighborhood werewolf stories. Okay, so for the November challenge, which I love getting a fresh new month because there's so many possibilities, especially with these. So let's go ahead and jump right into them. The first one, a book by an author with a middle name or initial on the cover. Now, I could have just saved this one for that, but that's okay. I'm glad I got that. There's one book in particular that I have wanted to read forever. I am very excited to read this, and it is available at the library. I have a hold on it, and I got a notification just a little bit ago that it is ready. But it is The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus. I am so excited. Okay, just look at the cover. Okay, look at the cover. It is creepy. This actually would have been really fantastic for Halloween. But I love that. And there's a bit of time travel in it, I think, and dual timelines, which is up my alley. So I'm excited. Never read anything by the author, Jamie Jo Wright. And the second challenge, a book recommended by a friend. I love this one because I have a very special internet friend. Gone through Pit Collage together back in its glory days. We went through Wattpad together in its glory days, and we still kind of, you know, we follow on Instagram and all that stuff. Anyway, and we have recommended books to each other for several years. She introduced me to Brandon Mule and all his Fablehaven and the Beyonders and the Five Kingdoms, all that series, and which is amazing. One of my favorites middle grade fantasy authors, and I got her. And then I recommended to her the Brother Band Chronicles, which is like a spin-off of the Ranger's Apprentice, and yada yada yada. So we share books. It's a trilogy. Never got to read it, and I've always been like, man, I really want to. Now's that time. And it is House of Secrets by Chris Columbus. Honestly, it's been on my list forever. I forget what it's about. I'm gonna say it's a house full of secrets. I trust this recommendation, and I'm very excited to finally read it. And it is also available at the library. Definitely go check out my friend's Instagram page. The link is in the description. She does all kinds of really cool cosplays, makes her own outfits, and she's just really awesome and sweet and a very good friend of mine. So definitely go check out her page. So that will complete the reading challenge for October and November, which is insane because we only have November, December, and then December. So there's not too many more of these. I wish I had been doing the reading challenges on here when I started them. I don't know, I just didn't think about it, and I had too many other things I was trying to do, because these are really fun. But I do have them all on my blog if you want to go and check that out, link in the description. So that's going to do it. Again, I hope you all have a fantastic day, great Halloween, have fun. The next video will be up this Friday, the 3rd of November, which I cannot believe this year's over. Like, it's basically over. I will be sharing all of my October reads and my November TBR. I'm very excited to share those, and I hope you guys are excited to hear about them. So until next time, happy reading!